Scott, a federal lawsuit filed in Arkansas is targeting the company behind xAI after a Bentonville photographer is accused of using the program to create sexual images of children this year.
Now, the lawsuit claims xAI failed to build safeguards that could have prevented the alleged crimes from happening in the first place. 5 News reporter Emily Moss has the story.
Bentonville police accused Russell Bloodworth of creating possibly thousands of sexually explicit images of children that he photographed for his business through X's AI tool, Grok. He has pleaded not guilty to those criminal charges, but a new federal lawsuit is accusing the company behind Grok AI of failing to prevent that exploitation. Derek Potts, who represents victim families in this suit, says families are looking for accountability.
As a parent, you can only imagine, the emotions, sadness, deep sadness for your child having to experience something at this age they should never experience or fathom.
The lawsuit alleges xAI failed to adopt safeguards already used by competing AI companies. It also alleges that Grok's optional spicy mode reduced safeguards designed to prevent that abuse.
It basically took all the guardrails off their AI and allowed people to do all sorts of bad things, right? I don't think you can do this sort of activity on some of the other AIs.
Jim Cole has spent decades investigating child exploitation cases, including helping build Homeland Security Investigations Cybercrime Center. He's not affiliated with this case or lawsuit, but he says AI has fundamentally changed how these crimes can happen.
The reality is, in today's day and age, you don't need abusive material to create more abusive material. You can take any innocuous image of any body and create almost anything you want to.
Because X's AI tool Grok is at the center of this lawsuit, I decided to give it a try myself using one of my own photos. I first asked it to put me in Razorback gear next to Tusk inside of Razorback Stadium, but then I asked the chatbot to explain spicy mode, and the safeguards it says are designed to protect children. Grok describes spicy mode as an adults-only feature that loosens content filters for image generation. It also said requests involving children are blocked and that creating sexual content involving minors violates its policies. When I pointed to documented cases where those safeguards failed, Grok acknowledged what it called previous lapses and safeguards and technical failures before additional protections were added. It maintained that the company's policies always prohibited the content, even when the technology didn't already enforce those rules. But Potts argues these failures are not isolated.
Time is going to tell how extensive this went on, but it looks to us so far like it may be quite extensive.
The lawsuit is one of the first of its kind, asking whether an AI company can be held accountable for material created using its technology. But for the children depicted in that material, experts say the trauma can last long after these images are created.
The pain is not diminished, the trauma is not diminished because the physical act didn't happen. The fact that they were utilized to create this horrific material is equally traumatizing.
Covering news where you live, Emily Moss, 5 News.
We did reach out to X for comment on the lawsuit and have not heard back. Attorney General Tim Griffin of Arkansas did provide comment stating his office is aware of the lawsuit and conducting its own review. The Benton County photographer accused of using Grok AI to create child sexual assault materials, meanwhile, is Russell Bloodworth. He is facing hundreds of charges connected to the allegations. According to an arrest affidavit, more than 1,700 illicit images and videos were found when investigators searched his electronic devices. Bloodworth's next hearing is set for September 21st.
A Russellville couple accused of starving, restraining, and nearly killing their 7-year-old son will spend 18 years in prison. Christopher and Caitlin Freeman accepted plea deals today, a decision prosecutors say was made to protect the couple's 3 children from having to relive the abuse at trial. 5 News reporter Bo Russell is in Russellville at the courthouse.
The Freemans were originally facing attempted capital murder among several other felony charges, but prosecutor Jeff Phillips says that after speaking with the victims' caregivers, their therapists, and the oldest victim, he says this deal is in their best interest. Christopher and Caitlin Freeman stood before a Pope County judge Tuesday accepting plea deals that will send each of them to prison for up to 18 years. The couple was arrested in July of last year after their 7-year-old son was taken to the hospital weighing only 28 pounds. Investigators said the boy had been starved, restrained, and confined for extended periods and was close to death.
what I saw when he was like 3 days at Children's Hospital after being taken, it blows me away.
Phillips says the 3 children have remained together since they were moved from the home. He says their physical recovery has been remarkable.
Physically, emotionally, I don't know, but I know physically, it's just incredible how the oldest child has just recovered.
The Freeman sentences will run concurrently with an additional 10 years suspended. Phillips said a trial would have required multiple meetings with the children and could have forced them to face their parents again in court.
They did not want to see the people in that courtroom again.
He says the final decision came after a conversation with the caregivers, their therapist, and the oldest child just hours before the hearing.
One of the major things in the plea offer we made was not wanting to disrupt the progress they've made. And so 10, 15 years from now, they're going to be adults, and they're going to be living a really good life.
The Freemans will also have to pay back more than $20,000 to the state in stolen SNAP benefits. In Russellville, covering news where you live, I'm Bo Russell, 5 News.
Thank you, Bo. And prosecutors in court today said the money to pay back the state will come from more than $70,000 in cash law enforcement found when searching the Freemans' home. The rest of the money will go toward the children. A forensics lab is now working to help Barling police identify the body of a man found floating in the Arkansas River more than 3 decades ago. It was August 1st, 1993, when the body was found near Lock and Dam 13. The Barling Police Department has partnered with Moxie Forensic Investigations to pursue advanced DNA testing and forensic genealogy in hopes of finally identifying the man. The effort now is to raise the more than $4,000 it will cost to get that work done.
Police departments in the River Valley are mourning the loss of an officer who spent decades working in the area. Muldrow Police announced that former Chief George Lawson has passed away. He served in the role from 2013 to 2023 there in Muldrow. Before that, he worked for 3 decades in the Fort Smith Police Department. The city's current police chief says law enforcement work was more than a career for George. It was a calling.
I don't think his legacy is tied to one particular agency. I think he left a legacy for all of the law enforcement community in this area.
Fort Smith Police also shared a statement from Chief Danny Baker remembering Lawson's dedication to public safety and the lives he touched working as a police officer.